Now we can move on to the topic associated with the implementation of visual management techniques. Visualization is the foundation for any organization implementing lean management. Why visualization? It has a scientific justification. A man has 5 senses through which he or she learns the environment and gains knowledge. The sense, which plays a key role in the perception of reality, is precisely the vision. Up to 83% of received stimuli come from the possibility of seeing. In addition, visualization is somewhat universal and fits well in the globalization trend. Many organizations are working in multicultural environments, employ workers from almost all parts of the world. Consider now how you would present a new employee the company's organizational structure. Would you use a several-page-long detailed procedure, or would you show a graphical organizational chart? Which method would be more effective? The work can be made visible thanks to a number of measures. In general, the measure we choose depends on 2 key factors: the distance and complexity. The concept of distance applies to the physical distance of the information provider. For example, a person or group of persons who have knowledge. To the recipient, for example, a person or group of people who need that information. If the provider and the recipient are located close to each other, it is possible to use simple measures, such as arrays. If, however, a long distance separates them, then you can consider the use of electronic techniques, such as a common file shared in the cloud, or sharing a calendar or a schedule. Since distance may be an essential necessity, some companies have applied extremely creative methods to solve the problem of distance. For example, you can take a digital photo of an array located in a room and send it by email so that employees in a different place can make changes to their arrays and keep up with the news. The notion of complexity refers to the amount of communicated information. For example, arrays can be very effective to present the status of projects if the number of such projects is limited, for example, to 50. When the quantity exceeds this number, the company usually decides on electronic methods. While electronic methods are a very good way to communicate, they do not provide such visibility of work as traditional methods and manual application of changes, and therefore do not offer some of the benefits of visualization, such as the maintenance of standards, increased responsibility for the work. The solution to this problem would be to install monitors in the right places so that anyone interested could follow the emerging information. When considering the best method to visualize, remember that it must be simple. Companies often invest a lot of time and effort into developing complicated methods where simpler solutions would work as a way, and in addition would bring savings of time and money. In lean thinking, it is always about an effective method that can be quickly implemented. We must consider whether it will be easy to maintain the implemented system. Any method that requires quite a lot of effort to update the information does not pass the exam in extended use. Whiteboards on which we can write down fixed data will be a good solution. You do not need to rewrite them constantly, and the data can be easily reorganized on a large array. A sample array may consist of the section called Key Performance Indicators, KPIs in short, which are updated daily before the meeting by the team leader. Below you will find the section The Week Tweak, where after each week of work we select the best improvement that was implemented last week. Then going to the right, the section related to the problems that have been identified during the day or during the meeting, written on colorful post-it notes, for example, in colors related to the customer or the nature of the problem or the process which the problem pertains to. Below, there is a section, Actions, which is dedicated to the problems outlined above. Then the section Solved Problem Actions in order to visualize the success of the team. Whereas to the right, we can find the team name, the date of an update, and the meeting agenda, but also the meeting effectiveness evaluation form. The same is in the case of electronic methods. If the workers have to enter some data into the system only because of visual management, their discontent will grow with time. However, if the information you need is already in the system and you only have to bring it to the light, then you will certainly be able to develop simple techniques to easily perform this task.